All right, Quinn Hennick here for the deadlift warm-up for the Juggernaut Training Systems online programming. The first drill here is the 90-90 breathing and bracing drill, and this is generally to teach you guys how to set up your core and create tension through your trunk for your deadlifts. And so you're in supine 90-90 position. You've got your heels pulling down on a bench, and so essentially you're doing a little isometric hamstring curl, and then you've got a foam roller between your knees doing somewhat of an isometric adduction with your hips, and it just sets your hips into a position that's pretty stable. And so you're going to breathe in through your nose, and then you're going to exhale through your mouth fully so that your lower ribs get pulled down. You see Chris's hands are on her lower ribs, and as she exhales, her ribs get pulled down by the abs, flush with the abdomen. And then the idea is that you breathe into that position and create 360 degrees of expansion, and that's the position that you can brace over the top with in your deadlift. So when you breathe in, your lower back should not change position or relationship with the floor. It should stay relatively stable or relatively flat to the floor. And then you exhale to set position, you inhale to reinforce it. The entire time you're pulling down with the heels on the bench just to create some isometric hamstring tension there. The next exercise is taking the same principles of the 90-90 drill into more of an ab-centric drill. You're challenging your abs here now with the dead bug. So the idea is you're dissociating hip and shoulder movement with the trunk, keeping the trunk relatively stable. And so if you exhale through your mouth like you did before and create some tension through your abs, you try to maintain that as you extend one hip and flex the opposite shoulder. Some of you guys may find that one side is a little bit more difficult than the other, and who knows, maybe you even twist during your deadlift, and so this could identify something like that. So breathe in, exhale with some force as you extend the limbs. The next one is the side-lying clamshell, just to get some drive to the glutes. And so it's an isometric hold. You should definitely feel some glute burn here, and then you try to take that same drive into your deadlift. So you're going to hold position for maybe 5-10 seconds until you get a burn, and then you can see Chris going through small reps here, maybe 2 or 3 inches of excursion. This side-lying position will give you some control. Your feet being on an implement, either a wall or a box, will mimic how they push into the floor. You're driving the top knee forward and also up as you're moving through range. Small reps, 2 or 3 inches up and down till about failure. The next drill is going to be the tall kneeling glute activation drill. So similar to the side-lying clamshell in that we're trying to send some drive, some potentiation to the hip extenders, to the hip musculature in general, but we're taking it to a more upright position in tall kneeling. This is also where we can practice a hip hinge. So both knees are on the ground, rib cage and pelvis relatively parallel to each other, one on top of the other, and then the counterbalance will add a little bit of load to this. So as you drive the hips forward, just like you would lock out a deadlift, the weight is trying to pull you forward. So you should feel some burn in the hamstrings, holding you up. You should feel some burn in the abs, keeping your trunk relatively stable. Use the same breathing pattern as before.